Our top story tonight is, of course, the EU has broken its four-day meeting stalemate. It's not the longest meeting they've ever had. That was in Nice. This one fell short by about 30-odd minutes. But a new stimulus package has been put in place. And great comparisons about the talks are being made to another historic deal.
I want to be in the room where it happens.
Hamilton.
It's being called the Hamiltonian moment for Europe. In the room where it happens, Alexander Hamilton led what's known as the Compromise of 1790. Now, what happened? The US government, the federal government, assumed the debts of the states from before the Federation was formed. It cemented the Union closer together by taking on those debts. Now it's the EU's Hamiltonian moment. The EU can borrow as a single entity. It can raise capital from financial markets. Everybody agrees, and you heard the Italian finance minister tonight on this programme say it's a step closer towards union. Others would say towards federalism. Alexander Stubb is with me, Professor and Director of the European University Institute, former Finance Minister of Finance and Prime Minister of Finland. He joins me from Prokkala in Finland. Forgive the awful pronunciation, Alex, but it looks beautiful where you are. Was this a Hamiltonian moment in the sense of the EU coming together based on the back of debt?
It was a quasi-Hamiltonian moment, but if I recall my studies at Furman University in Greenville, South Carolina, Hamilton wrote Federalist Paper number 10, and this was not Federalist Paper number 10. I would argue, like Eric Jones, this is a little bit more of a Madisonian moment. In other words, we're unified and united in diversity. So it's certainly a step towards some kind of a federal union, but not yet the Hamiltonian moment.
Did the rancor exhibit fault lines that are existential in the future?
No, I don't think so. I mean, EU negotiations, and I've been around for a few years in those, are usually about this. You know, when it's about money, it's quite often between the North and the South. When it's about values, it's about the East and the West. On some other issues, it's about new and old, big and small. So there are always going to be fault lines, much like there are fault lines between the states in the United States. This is part of European integration. The end results are always suboptimal, never perfect.
And the comments, I mean, Macron got cross with Kurz when he left to take a phone call. Orban was rude to Mark Rutte. Everybody, it seems, decided to turn on Macron in some shape or form, who was duly rude back again. Was this more rude or ruder than usual?
Well, you know, I've been in the room. I'm one of the rare breeds that I was actually in Nice as a deputy and teacher taking notes in the back room. And then I've been in the European Council as a prime minister. And usually, how would I say, the story is a little bit less dramatic and a little bit more subdued than what people think. Of course, there's some tough discussions, but it never or very rarely gets sort of uncivil or uncivilized. And let me tell you one thing, Richard. I think in Nice, people came out of those negotiations. Some people were crying because they were so tough. It was about power. This time around, people were smiling, most of them. And I think that says a lot.
In a sentence, and I'm recording this and I'll play it back against you in the future. Do you believe they say that they won't be borrowing again in the future, collectively, mutually? Do you believe them?
No, of course they will. Remember, the European Investment Bank has existed for 60 years. That is a bank of mutualization. You have mutual debt there already. This is just the first time the Commission is going to do it. And of course, it's going to do it in the future as well. Hopefully not in these types of crises.
11 o'clock at night, and it's still, of course, daylight up in wonderful Finland. Thank you, Alex. It is good to have you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.